and welcome to Brew Tapcast. I'm Tap for another Pints and Previews episode. We are in Everfest spoiler season. This is day one. We have some wonderful, juicy spoilers to chat up and enjoy. So before we jump right into it, I do want to say, make sure you give the creators that are making videos and content for this some love. Some are putting a lot of time into these, some are not. Some are just tweeting out whatever. But like, there are some people that we will see making a lot of great content, spending time putting hours in and love into those videos. So please make sure to check those out. You can go to the Flesh and Blood main page website. It's going to be in the description below where to get that link. But like Everfest spoilers, and then boom, all the list of them. So even if you've already seen the card, go and watch the video. A lot of people, put time and effort into these. So definitely check those out. Also, check out our Discord. We'll have a spoiler card for Wednesday, 26th at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come, going to premiere that, watch that. Also join our Discord. But without any more, let's just jump right into spoilers. All right, we start off with a fantastic one. This is from TCG Player. This is Bravo, star of the show. We have ourselves an elemental Bravo. This is Essence of Earth, Ice, Lightning, Intellect 4, Health 40, and the big effect, at the start of your turn, you may reel an Earth, an Ice, and a Lightning card from your hand. If you do the next attack action card with cost 3 or greater, you play this turn, gains +2, dominate, and go again. When I first read this card, I thought it was you can reveal a Earth, a Ice, or a Lightning. It's all three. Makes it a lot harder to get that. It's essentially having kind of a fuse thing. So it's going to be some pretty expensive ways to do things as far as like you're going to be having to play out of your arsenal, maybe or rely on other cards in your arsenal to be playing those things, because like obviously you have to have these things in your hand, and that's kind of a big deal. At least you don't have to be like when you're playing the card. It's at the start of your turn. But even so, it's pretty restrictive. That said, he has a large card pool at this point. So he's got access to all the generic elementals now, all the guardian elementals. So he's got a lot to do in that regard. But there's only a few cards that I'm really excited about, and like we'll have to see how it plays out, because we have to see if it's like, I think you could definitely hit on this pretty hard if you're going into the like pitch stacking, like second round, like you've stacked properly, so you're going to draw these hands with all these elementals, and you can just go to town, right? But that's not as likely to do. It's a little harder to do as well when you need to have. It's not just pitch cost. It's like there's 3 things you need to have plus something to do. Or a way to get all those cards out of your hand or something like that. So it gets a lot more difficult than your average pitch stacking, I would think. But Awakening seems really good with this kind of thing, because if you can somehow get that with Bravo, like you're down a bunch of life, you can go search up a massive like Crippling Crush or something like that. Seems really good. So like him just having the elementals thing is kind of exciting. Like going like a heavy Earth sort of thing with Bravo seems like kind of way up my alley. So that's going to be really exciting. Outside of that, yeah, without like a lot of pitch stacking and library manipulation, I'm not really sure if you're going to be getting his thing off on there. Channel Mount Heroic, also pretty exciting for this card as well. Beyond that, I think he's not going to be as bonkers as some people are saying he's going to be. So I wouldn't worry too much about like having him dominate the format. So. All right, on to our next card. This is from LSV over Channel Fireball. This is Bingo. We have ourselves a Bingo. So we have a red pitch, 1 cost, 5 attack, 3 defense, generic action attack. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Astier says, as the flavor text says, when Bingo hits a hero, reveal a card from their hand. If an attack action card is revealed this way, Bingo gains go again. If a non-attack action card is revealed this way, draw a card. So either way, pretty nice, depending upon when you play it, what you think your opponent's going to have in your hand is really going to be how you play this out. If you're looking for, if you're going really aggro, you can't always rely on it to have go again. So it might be better to be played later in the turn, like at the end of your turn. So you can draw an arsenal card at the end, so you can have a 5-card hand the next turn. Imagine this in the original Cheerios Briar deck. This would have fit in fantastically well, because it does, based on your opponent, like whether they're going to have a lot of non-attacks or attacks just based on what hero they're playing. This can be a pretty brutal card just to be snapping off like, oh, cool. Yep, here's my auto go again. All I got to do is hit. Or you get an extra card for arsenaling. Like we definitely saw that being a big part of what that made that deck sing, is having 5-card hands. You can rely on it like they did with Snatch. It'd be pretty brutal. It is also pretty risk intense in the sense of like sometimes you don't know if you're playing a very even split deck like Viserai, like the non-control versions of Viserai, or not mid-range, more like the should say not the OTK versions, are going to have a pretty good split. Maybe it's going to be hard to know what you're going to get. Whereas obviously you're playing something more like Wizard, you're always going to be getting those non-attack actions, and getting the card draw, which is interesting. So it's highly dependent there. It could, yeah, I think it could see some play in aggressive decks as its mainstay. Outside that, I'm not really entirely sure. But it's a cool card. I think the art's really ridiculous too. Like this lady is just like juggling food and crap and like stepping on heads. Man, she's annoying, but she seems excited. All right, on to our next card. It looks like we have Fire Breathing. This is from Star City Games. This is a Majestic. We have a generic Majestic, so it's a red pitch. I assume this is the only color red. Red pitch, 2 cost, 3 attack, 3 defense, generic attack. It says instant, pay 1. Fire Breathing gains +1. Activates this ability only while Fire Breathing is attacking. So on its rate, outside of like Bingo, which was a pretty cheap a rate, this is not as good of a rate. 2 for 3, not really worth it, but it does the upside of being able to really stuff some pain into this card. We saw Exude Confidence. It doesn't see a huge amount of play. I really like it in Bravo, personally, like my aggro Bravo list. It works well. It serves a purpose. Those off turns where you really want to sort of see what your opponent has or just buff stuff up. It's a great way to do that. This one is a much better pumping rate. It's not 3 for 2, it's 1 for 1 in any combination of those. So that's really quite nice. Outside of that, it doesn't have the whole defense reaction instant shut off thing, which is kind of a big deal for that card because that really allows you to be safe about slamming things into that. But I think this is still kind of fun. It's really probably good for those decks that like are highly reliant on having specific pitches that sometimes don't line up just because of the variability of your deck. You can build your deck properly and you'll oftentimes get some crazy hands. This is a way to like basically just like sort of mulligan your hand out of the way. But it's like cool, I don't really want all these cards. They don't really work all that well. Boom, you just throw a bunch of damage into an attack. So I can see. I want to see this how this is going to play. I think I have my mind open that it'll be kind of exciting because it's cheaper than Exude Confidence. Yes, it costs 2, and that was a base of 4. But on average, if you're pitching 3, you're coming in for 4. That would be coming in for 6. So you're I guess if you go 6, it'll be 4 plus 3 is 7, where the other one's 8. So it's still going to lag behind by 1. But it's still kind of, it catches up at the 3 pitch zone, which is kind of not there. But because it's a little bit more versatile, because you can, cool, I'll send an attack in and I'll only drop a yellow because that's all I got, or 2 resources, whatever. I think it can maybe see some play. So I think it'll be kind of exciting. Next one is Card Market. We have Knick Knack Bric-a-Brac. This is a red pitch 3 cost generic action defense for 2. As additional cost to play Knick Knack Bric-a-Brac, give it Doug a bone. You may destroy any number of copper, silver, and or gold you control. Search your deck for a card with an amulet, potion, or talisman in its name. Put it in the arena, then shuffle for each 4 copper, 2 silver, or 1 gold destroyed. Repeat this process. So you go search up a whole bunch of things. They are going into the arena sequentially. You don't have to play these right there, just playing them and putting them into the arena. So you don't have to worry about cost or anything like that. You don't have to worry about go again or using action points. Obviously, this uses an action point. So if you're hoping to gain some action points, that's not going to happen. You don't have the play effect. They just enter the arena, so you're not going to get those effects like that, which is a little bit unfortunate. But outside of that, I think this is really highly dependent upon what we see as far as potions, amulets, and talismans in this set. Right now, unless there's like some like crazy brew life of the party deck that like is gonna like just like cheese people out of wins, I'm not really sure how we're gonna see how this goofy merchant guy is gonna make it work. But he loves his potions, talismans, and amulets. So pretty cool card. Love the art, love the name. It's definitely on par with the whole set. But I think we'll have to wait for final judgment because we don't really know what other kind of cards are coming just yet. All right, next we have ICV2. It's pick a card, any card. Another aptly named, right on the nose, carnival game, fortune teller sort of thing. This old creepy lady with a crystal ball is going to tell you your fortune. So it is a red pitch. This is a rare. Red pitch, 0 cost, 2 defense, generic action. It says look at your target opponent's hand. Then name a card. Choose a card at random from their hand and reveal it. If it's named card, create a silver token. Repeat this process. Go again. Sorry, repeat the process thrice. And I think if there's multiple colors, it'd probably be twice or once. So there wouldn't be a repeat the process. So I think this can be pretty good. At certain times it will generate some serious wealth. So if your opponent has 2 cards in hand, On average, you're going to get 1.5 to 3 silvers, depending upon that. And obviously, if they only have one card or something like that, you can get yourself quite a lot of silvers. And again, silvers are more useful than coppers. It's like that, the 4 to 2 to 1 rate as far as like cashing in for cash in or for knick-knack, bric-a-brac, something like that. So I do think that this set is going to bring a lot of card draw. We've seen that, and it's adding in card draw from things like this, being able to get silver and stuff like that. So maybe we'll see some more stuff that interact with silver and gold and all that kind of stuff, and I'm kind of excited for that. So this should be pretty exciting. I don't know if we'll see a lot of play, to be honest, because it's so kind of awkward, but it's a way to generate silver if you need it. All right, next we have Alpha Investment. This is even bigger than that. This is a red pitch, 0 cost instant. It says play even bigger than that, only if you dealt damage this turn. Opt 3, I assume the blue and yellow will be opt 1 and 2. Then reveal the top card of your deck. If it has power greater than the amount of damage you've dealt this turn, create a quicken token and draw a card. I think this can see some heavy-duty play. I also love this. It's like the ambiance of this card is hysterical. Like you can see a bunch of people, your average guys sitting in a tavern, drinking, talking about these goofy things that they've been doing, and then this, I think the description thing that they said, like it's like, oh, this snake turned into like this monster from the sea, or the animal that attacked me was basically a rabbit, but then it was actually like a polar bear or something like that. So like you totally see them like just totally embellishing their stories, all that kind of stuff. In any case, I think this is very, very good in some decks. Like imagine just poking in for a little bit of damage. You just want to poke in for a little bit, right? For this particular one, you're opting 3, so you get to see a good amount of cards, right? So say you're playing this in Ninja deck, you're Kadachiing in for a little bit of damage, all that kind of stuff. This is a really nice way to do that because you're almost guaranteed to get that quicken and draw a card. So it's very dependent upon if you can see things on your deck already. If you might know something that's on your deck, you can still swing in for a good amount of damage and then still have that. Like I feel like it. Yeah, no, I think it's also going to be really good in Bravo and stuff like that. These big hit decks, right? Because you're going to be not doing maybe huge amount of damage. Maybe if you're going for like a aggro Bravo, you're going to be popping in with like say a blue Salus belting, right? Just bumping in for a little bit of damage. You play this out, you see some like big crush cards on top. Boom, you're getting that quicken token, which is really quite nice in Bravo, anyways, for maybe multiple hammer swings, things like that. Maybe Sledge of Anvilheim coming back. Going to see some play. And the card draw is really awesome too. So I really think that you could really milk this card, and because it's free, yeah, it doesn't block. You could really milk this card and get some powerhouse things in there. All right, this one is Tannin Graces. This is High Striker. This is a cycle. So this is a red one. So 1 pitch, 0 cost, 2 defense, generic action. The next time an attack you control hits this turn, create 6 copper tokens. Go again. Yellow is going to be 4, and then blue is going to be 2. It seems great. It's a free way to get 6 copper. That's above sort of the cash-in rate of like everything. Sort of all the actions we've seen so far is like 4 copper. So you're netting 2 more and getting that effect. It feels pretty good. It's just risky because it has to be played before your attack. So it could literally just say, cool, I'm going to go do something brutal. And then you're like, yeah, cool. That's great. I'm going to block it out. You don't get your copper. You just wasted a card out of your hand. So it has a little bit of an inherent risk in that regard, which isn't all that great. But in decks that really care about copper, so probably Merchants and Kasai, maybe it's going to see some more play. It'll be kind of exciting. Could work well with Knick-Knack, Bric-a-Brac, because you can go, if we find that there are potion things you really want to search up, you're going to get a fair amount of copper from this to go search things up. So not too shabby in that regard. Outside of that, I don't really know we don't know how much this is going to be great. We don't know if we see some really big payoffs for copper, or if it's just going to be kind of how it was, where cash-in was kind of the big one. But you have to remember that card parity is what you have when you play this and then cash in, right? If you get your 6 coppers, you play this and you play cash in, you're drawing 2 cards. It's not like, oh man, I freaking just nailed this card advantage thing. Not really, you're still parity, so it kind of hurts in that regard. So, all right, next one from Pleasant Kenobi. This is Smashing Good Time. This is, I believe, a cycle. So this is a red. So 1 pitch, 0 cost, generic action, defense for 2. The next time an attack action card hits a hero this turn, you may destroy an item they control with cost 2 or less. If Smashing Good Time is played from the arsenal, the next attack action card you play this turn gets +3. Go again. If it's a cycle, I imagine And actually, I'm not sure. There's 2 ways you can manipulate this. It's either the cost of the item that you're destroying or the buff that you're getting out of the arsenal. So I actually don't know what it is. And it could be either one. It could be both, maybe. I don't know. But either way, I love this card, by the way. It's just like little goofy pet just looks like he's going... Or maybe not pet. They're just going bananas. Flying around, just breaking and eating all these dolls. There's like the Everfest is just going nuts. Those poor artists are just getting their day ruined. Anyways, it seems kind of fun. I mean, this is a nice hoser for mechs. Like it hits like mechs. It hits like prism auras. Or no, those are items. No, those are auras. So those don't actually work. Never mind. They're instants and things like that. So I don't think those are items. So it's really just your dash items, things like that. It's gonna be your talismans, your amulets, your potions, things like that we're seeing from this set. But like being able to destroy, because like this one will hit plasma purifier and induction chamber. There's both 2 costs. You can just wipe them out. That's pretty nice. All the ones that we've sort of seen play, like maybe hyperdriver or technical core, all are gonna get smashed by that. I really like this design space because it really makes... I hope we see a lot of things that this can actually hit. I like it's generic because everyone has access to it. So it's not like one sort of thing is good for destroying items, things like that. And I like it. I don't think... we don't really know how this is going to be in the meta. It looks like an off playable, maybe like a sideboard card for certain matchups, but it's still kind of neat to see. And the +3 is really quite nice for a 0 cost thing. From your arsenal, just like that, just like our good friend Plunder Run, the red one, anyways. This is funny because this is kind of like seeming like the Mirrodin set of like, so for Magic, Mirrodin had this artifact based set. This is like items and like potions and things like that set. So I wonder if this is like their Mirrodin, and this is the hate for Mirrodin or hate for artifacts like that. So, all right, we have a couple more. So this is, we don't need to talk much about this. Is Arcane Lantern from Brian Gottlieb. This is a deliciously wonderful full art version here. So we have Arcane Barrier 1. That's it. I don't even think we need to talk about it. We can have, 5 pieces of Arcane Barrier on turn 0 if you want to. It's nice for things that have an offhand that really don't care too much about. If you're playing a Bravo, like you don't need your shield, like boom, swap it out. Arcane Lantern, happy, good to go. Love the art. I don't think we need to talk about that. That's it. It's delicious. If you need it, you'll play it. Next one is Wild Ridis from Radio Reflex, Ethan and Alan. 0 block. So sorry, I should read it. It's like the biggest thing. I'm just looking at it. So this is the red one. There are 3 color strips. I'm sure of this one. This is the 1 pitch, 2 cost, 6 attack. No defense. When you attack with Wild Ride, draw a card, discard a card at random. If the 6 or more was discarded this way, Wild Ride gaze go again. So like a breakneck battery, but it doesn't defend. So that's not great. And I guess it does the draw the card thing. That's kind of nice though. I imagine the yellow is gonna be 5 and the blue is gonna be 4. This will probably be the only one that we really want to play for Brute because of the 6 power threshold. And outside of that, because it doesn't block, it's not that great. It's really like it's a lot of RNG more than Brute can handle because you're already playing off the top of your deck. This is sort of like the Shadow Brute effect because that's where we first saw. Maybe actually was the Beast Within. So maybe it was Crucible. We didn't see any of that. This sort of like draw and discard in the base set, but who knows? I'm not sure if I love this card. It is only a common, so it's not really that surprising. But I guess if you need something that is possibly going to have go again and you're pretty confident about it, it could be okay. But I don't know. Not sure I love it. The art is freaking awesome. Everyone who knows how to have a good time is welcome in Ari. Like this, they're just racing animals. I love it. That's worth the card right there. All right, I got 3 more, and then we all are potions and things like that. So this is from Christine Sprankle. She's a cosplayer. And this is Amulet of Haven Call. So this is a blue pitch, 0 cost, a generic action item, so no defense, obviously. It says go again, defense reaction, destroy Amulet of Haven Call, search your deck for a card named Rally the Rearguard, add it to the chain link as a defending card, then shuffle. Activate this ability only if you have no cards in hand. So it's a way to have a defense reaction for, quote unquote free. Yes, this doesn't lose your momentum because you have go again, but unfortunately it's not doing a whole lot. If you remember back from Monarch, Rally the Rearguard was a card that defends for 2 on its base, but if you discard a card, you can buff it up for 3 more, up to 5. But you can only do it once per turn, and you have to discard a card. So if you're playing you're activating this only when you have no cards in your hand, you're not going to get that buff. So it's really like, cool. Well, I guess I can defend, and then I was like, all right, well, if I have this on the board, I can add 2 to my defense. So not hugely awesome because you also have to put Rally the Rearguard in your deck, which isn't all that great on its face. So in that regard, I think we're probably going to pass on this one. It is too situational, and the poor synergy with Rally the Rearguard, unless there's some instant speed way to do it, it's really not that good. And there, it definitely is. There's a way to draw a card in between or after activating this and before the defense ends. You could, but it's like this weird free lacking synergy thing that we don't like. But we'll have to see if these get better. I don't really think it is. The flavor's awesome. You can go call the townsfolk with it, though. All right. Well, I'm going to have a sip. You just look at this Potion of Lexus from Olivia Gobert Hicks. She is a Magic and, I guess, Flesh and Blood now cosplayer as well, which is really cool. This is a beautiful card. I'm sure it looks wonderful in cold foil. All that shiny liquid and does pizzazz and dazzle, all that good stuff. So 0 cost, 3 pitch, generic action item. Instant, destroy Potion of Luck. Shuffle your hand and arsenal in your deck, then draw that many cards. You gotta love that. So this, I like it better than the Amulet Haven Call because there's the one thing about it that's not good is there's no go again. So that's of note. You play this out, you have exhausted an action point. You can also activate it right away if you wanted to. But it's really quite cool because there's times where maybe your hand is just garbage. Certain decks, like, you can just draw the wrong set of things. Like if you were like setting up for a combo with Ninja, or you're looking to like swing with something in your arsenal for Bravo and you draw a bunch of like non-blues. Or like, cool, I need some like non-attacks and attacks. Oh, cool, I just got all non-attacks or something like that. Like Ranger, I could even see maybe using that because like you just draw poor, right? In that regard, you're able to sort of shuffle back out and be able to swipe that arsenal out of there is actually really quite important because it goes to your hand afterwards. Yes, you're going random off the top of your deck, but you get that card out of your hand, so you could literally have a 5-card hand. So in that regard is pretty cool, and I like it, and I think it's probably going to see some play. I'm not entirely sure who's going to love it. But I definitely think it's a nice way to do it. The not blocking is a little painful, and then the not having go again is also a little painful. But maybe this is a potion you search up with Knick-Knack Brick-a-Brack because it doesn't matter that it has no go again. You just go plop it right into play. So that's not too bad. All right, our last card, going long. Last card for the day. This is probably the most spoilers we're going to have in one day. Is this one? This is from Tappy Toe Claws' Talisman of Featherfoot. This is a yellow pitch 0 cost generic action item. Go again. So nice, you don't lose your action point. When you attack, when an attack you control gains exactly +1 from an effect during the reaction step, destroy Talisman or Featherfoot, and the attack gains go again. Kind of stinky because it has to be only one, and it has to be in effect during the reaction step. So essentially, it has to be cool. Here's my buff for 1. That's not very exciting. It has to happen right then, and it has to be only 1. It doesn't mean you can't have more base power buff from other things. But the +1 in that reaction step has to happen for you to do this. And that's just kind of not so exciting. And the go again is nice, but I do get it. Like, go again can be very much abused, and you can go really hard, and it can be awful, right? So in that regard, I'm totally on board with it being a bit of an issue, per se, when you're going to be going really wide. Like, the Cheerios Briar deck had any way to sort of buff that up for easy. I mean, like, the Blue Plunder one was one of those things. It's not a reaction step. So it's hard to make this work. And I think that's good they did that because it's dangerous to have sort of unlimited go again at a generic thing. So I think, yes, you got to jump through hoops, and it's not great because there are some downsides. And I don't think this is going to really be abused. But we'll have to see. I don't really know. So, all right, well, that is all the spoilers for day 1 of Everfest spoiler season. So thank you for joining me for the Pints and previews. The Tuesday one we did live. This is weird because recording afterwards, but that was live. And then the rest of the week will be coming up to YouTube very soon. So thank you all. Enjoy the spoilers again. Ours is on Wednesday, the 26th of January at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be there premiering live. So chat in the chat. Come have a beer with me, and we'll hang out. So, well, that said, cheers, and we'll see you soon.